What's up guys, it's Paul from PWR and I'm here at VIR in Alton, Virginia. Just getting ready for the 2017 racing season. You know, I've been getting a lot of good feedback for the blog, ideas for content and topics of discussion, so thank you. But what I really want to talk about today is just getting started in racing, and what does that even mean really? What are the steps, what is the process to getting into racing? You know, I have a lot of people who ask me while I'm working as a driving instructor or on social media or even while racing in the last, you know, how did you get started in all this, Paul? You know, how do you get started in racing? Or they'll ask, how do you become a race car driver? What does it take to become a race car driver? So there's definitely a lot of good opinions out there, a lot of good information, but here's some things I would say. So first, it's going to start with a passion, right? An interest in the first place. I think that's first and foremost. So whether you're, you know, a car enthusiast, maybe you're just an engineering, mechanical type person, or you play a lot of sports, very competitive, or maybe you just grew up around racing. All right, I have a lot of friends who just got into racing at an early age. Maybe their family raced themselves, so they just kind of grew up around it, or their parents raced themselves, so they just kind of followed in their footsteps. Everyone has their own story, their own reasons for getting into racing, getting involved. For me, you know, I wasn't racing at a super early age. It wasn't until a little bit later that I got a little more serious, but I was always, you know, always liked racing at an early age. When I was a young boy, I'd watch F1, I watched Formula 1 with my grandfather, so I always knew I wanted to be like a race car driver or like fly a jet fighter or something like that. So you got to have your interest first and then be able to pursue that. And the next thing you're going to need is practice, because going fast is not easy, and this is something you're going to want to spend quite a fair amount of time getting good at. So you want to go out there and get as much experience as possible. It doesn't matter if it's a sport, a musical instrument, anything that involves eye-and-hand coordination really. You're going to need a lot of time, practice hours, developing your craft and your skill and your technique, okay, through repetition and building that muscle memory. All right. Now, we say in the motorsport world, you want to go out there and get as much seat time as possible. Go out there and get experience, drive as many cars as you can. Just get your feet wet. Find out if it's something you're really interested in, something you want to do. You have a lot of options here. You want to start with some smaller events, maybe like an autocross or a high performance driving event, a track day. That's an inexpensive way to get into it. And as time goes on, you get a little bit more involved. Maybe you want to get a race car, you want to build your car yourself. Maybe you start with a project car and build it up. Or maybe you have a really cool street car and you got some modifications done to it. And then you can take that out for a couple events. There's also some drive and drive or rental services you can do just for the weekend. You just show up, literally just hop in and drive, or you can buy a race car yourself. You can also start with taking some driving schools, all right? That's a great way to get some good, valuable information and build a foundation for the rest of your driving, okay? So you got a lot of options there. But the next thing you're gonna need is to be able to pay for all that, right? Because driving cars and racing is not cheap, so you're gonna need money, all right? Now, for most of us, we gotta find a way to pay for that. Okay, now if you're a super rich person and money's no object, and just buy a Ferrari, buy a Lamborghini, go race that, that's cool. I know plenty of people do that. But for most of us, we need to be able to find a way to be able to afford and be able to budget for racing. Now, if it's something you're gonna do as just like a hobby, something you do just like every once in a while, just for fun, you can keep it pretty expensive. But this is something you're gonna do over a long period of time, or something you're gonna get serious about, or something you wanna make a career out of. Let me be very clear, you're gonna need lots and lots of money. Okay, and you need to be able to find ways to get that funding, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit later video. The next component of getting into racing is people. All right, I would say arguably one of the more important things, probably the most important, because you're going to want that support system. You're going to want those people around you, help building you up, help supporting you, whether you're friends, your family, your coworkers, maybe their mentors, anybody who inspires you, gives you that motivation, that confidence to be able to push forward. And now these people also might be able to help fund your racing, okay? Whether your job, you know, these connections can help you be able to pay for your racing if you can get a better job, or through your family. I know a lot of friends I grew up with racing, their family paid for it. It didn't matter if they were playing baseball or driving a race car. They had loving families that helped fund that, okay? But you need to be able to pay for that either through your job, through your family. Maybe you can make some sponsors, all right? Maybe make some business connections or work some different organizations in order to help that funding. There's a lot of organizations, nonprofit organizations, charities that love to get involved with racing because it's a really good message, and it's really good to get involved with something like that. It goes so far. Now, even though that all these components, all these things that I'm mentioning are all interconnected, I would have to say that people and paying for it, the money side of things, are more interconnected, okay? Because if you have good people around you, you're gonna be able to go places. That's for anything in life, okay? And they're gonna be able to help make those connections, to be able to help further and help fund your racing and keep you motivated, and again, have that support system. Now, I would also say that practice and the passion are also interconnected a little bit more as well, because you need to have that, you need to fuel your passion and be able to have that passion, that drive to be able to continue practicing and to be able to get better. Something that's going to take lots of years, thousands of hours over several years to fully get good at, and commit yourself. Again, that goes for anything in life you want to master or be able to get good at. Now, what I want to do in some future videos is be able to break all these steps, all these components down a little bit more in depth and go a little bit deeper in each of those subjects to be able to go a little bit further in explaining what it takes in each of those categories, okay? So I'm about to get out there, I'm about to go race myself, okay? Hope this video was enjoyable, all right? Hope it was beneficial, and stay tuned because I'll catch you on the next one. All right, and I'll be signing off here, about to get out to the racetrack, and I'll see you guys around. Peace.